Hello and welcome to another episode of No Load Time. My name is Obed Velez, and with me, the most interesting man in the world, Joel Young.
What's good? No load time. Moped, good to be with you. How are you doing, man?
I am doing phenomenal, sir. It is a Thursday, and we are here. We are live, and we got tons to talk about since we
Yeah.
caught up on Andor. There's going to be a long discussion, guys, so hence the title. So we got a few more things that happened that we may touch upon if we have enough time. But I really want to dedicate a good chunk of this episode to talking about the Star Wars Peakuels and their season 1, 2, and Rogue One. Sir, how you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Really, I don't want to take too much time because to be completely blunt with you, the update on Andor is going to be significant, so I want to make sure we give enough time for that. But real briefly, I have been still playing catch up on Invincible. If it wasn't, and I mean this is not a bad way. This is not want to be very clear, and not to steal any thunder. But it's like if I hadn't been busy with Andor, I would have probably already finished this. But I've been
I
busy
watched
with
one more episode, so episode 4.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm about halfway through myself too,
Okay.
and like I get it. Again, like the show, you told me for a long time. You're like, Joel, you need to watch this. Like, and many people told me, but so I'm glad that I finally have taken the time to get. So I get it why the hype is around it. Looking forward to finishing out this season. I can see where some people in this. I don't want to give too early of impressions because I'm not done with the full season yet. But I can see where people say that season 1 was better than season 2, but season 3 is better than season 2, but season 1's still the strongest. And if that's the case, that's not a bad thing. I think that's fair. I don't. So far, at least from what I saw of season 2, I was fine with. Like it didn't bother me. I liked it enough to obviously keep going into season 3, and
Yeah.
I like the cliffhanger ending. So looking
Cool.
forward to see where this one ends. And really, I don't know what their cadence has been. Has it been like usually a year off and then the following year another season?
About yeah.
You know, okay.
That's been about that. Yeah, I want to say about a year and a half almost.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's not too
If
bad.
if
So probably X-Men 97, and this will probably come out similar timing the next seasons.
right, yeah, because yeah, because season 2 they released half of it first, and then they took like 3 months, and then they released the next half,
Wow.
something like that, or a couple months. I can't remember. Cool. Yeah, man. I mean
Which I get it.
yeah. Yeah, it's an
Animation takes a long time.
takes a long time, yeah, for sure. Yeah, if you're enjoying it, Devil May Cry, the Netflix Devil May Cry, is
Yes.
very similar in tone
Similar?
to Invincible. They do take a lot of liberties from like the game stuff, but it's fine because it's cool. It's
No,
cool.
no, that's fine.
It's
That's
cool,
fine.
yeah,
No, for
it's
sure.
good. And I'm sure like Invincible is not like panel to panel, but compared to the comics, so. That's totally
Yeah,
fine. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, once I get through this, I'll probably finally get into solo leveling and just see how I like it too. So we'll see.
Cool. Yeah, Soul Leveling. I've been meaning to go check it out. My daughter wants to watch it, so I think we're waiting for her to be ready.
Yeah.
So
sure,
so she doesn't want to go really into it. But yeah, My Hero Academia, man. That season's coming out in October, or starts in October. So that would be another good one because it's not Invincible, right? It's like it's more kid friendly. It's very
Okay.
very sure. So, but it's still like lots of action. That there's like this still has like a really strong like family dynamic and all that. So it's really good. So that you should enjoy that. Yeah, man. I mean, other than Andor, I meant to watch Tales of the Underworld. I haven't. I've been just. Dude, I've been fitting Andor in any
Yeah.
second available that I have because it's
Yeah,
so
same.
good. So, but yeah, like what you said, next week we're gonna have plenty of time. I'm gonna catch up on Invincible, catch up on Tales, and we'll talk about that later. I do have an announcement, sir. We kind of hinted it since the beginning of the year. I'm kind of nervous actually. I'm kind of nervous talking about it, but I wrote a book. I am on my second editing pass on it. And the book is called No Load Time. It's you'll get the full title later. But it is No Load Time is in the title of the book, and basically, I I wanted to do something positive, right? I feel like the ending to last year, the beginning of this year, were very negative, and I was having a very negative impact on my mental health, and I wanted to do something productive, and I wanted to do something good, and I wrote. I started writing, man, and um, in essence, it's a bit, it's half my life story, half game reviews. So I picked a few games that I played throughout my life that have had an impact on me. You know, I don't know, Nier Automata, Persona 4, and you know, back in the day, Super Mario World, and all that stuff. So Street Fighter 2, I talk about it extensively. So it's basically me talking about games that I loved throughout my life and have had, to this day left an impact in me, and some of the people and some of the moments associated with those games. And later on in life, how those games helped me get out of a dark place and into a more positive mindset. And up until now, when I'm playing with my kid, and we're creating new memories. I'm reliving childhood experiences with her with retro gaming, and she's creating her own. So I'm very excited. I'm done. Like, the writing's done. Um, you're doing a QC pass on an unfinished draft,
Yeah.
just to see what's up, and put some feelers out there. More than likely, I'm hoping that within the next 4 weeks, I can have it published on Amazon, Barnes and Noble. So at least online for now. I know that print may take a little bit more effort and resources that I'm not ready to invest in something like that. I may do something small, like a first edition, first batch kind of thing, and put it out there and see what happens. But man, I'm very excited. I'm happy. It's like I talk about things that I've never told people. Like, very few people know. Like there's things in there that my wife is the only one that knows, and my wife and my parents, that kind of thing, right? It's not crazy personal stuff, but it's moments, right? It's like especially like those moments when you need someone to lift you up and something to help you get out of where you are. And I try to be very tactful. There is no negative talk about anyone in the book. No, I'm not saying that Joel Young is a jerk. I got to work one day.
That Joel guy.
I can't.
My
And
goodness.
he started putting whoopee cushions in my seat in the office
Crazy
when I came
guy.
in. No, and there's very few people that I mentioned by name. Just because I want to respect people's privacy. I don't do any last names. So on those names. But if they get to read it, they know who they are, and they're very special to me, and I'm not disparaging anyone in the book, so I'm good. But I'm very happy, man. I'm very excited. I'm hoping that this is the beginning of something, and this is the first, probably not the last. We'll see where it goes, and I am super excited. So once everything's finished and completed, we'll probably put an ad on the standby roll, so you can go check it out. And if you want a physical copy, let me know. I may be able to make it happen. So
Might be a good giveaway opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. I'll sign it. Yeah, I'll buy myself a Sharpie.
The legend.
The legend. The legend never dies. Cool, man.
That actually sounded really good.
That's from
That could be a soundbite.
From Soul Calibur, yeah, right? And it's like the legend will never die. The legend will never die. Yeah, it's like, oh snap!
Dang.
I can hear the collective explosion out there. So
he announces a book and he announces a new hidden talent.
a new hidden talent. No, my daughter keeps telling me, it's like, why don't you try for voice acting? And I was like, I don't know. But maybe I should. Who knows? Hey, you know what? Maybe that could be another thing. I am open for opportunities, sir. I am. I would not. Man of many talents. I would not say no. But no, many. A lot of stuff going on. Right. I wrapped that up. I was very busy working on that last week, like overnight and whatnot, and stuff going on in the house. We're trying to fix a few things, so it's been very busy. But yeah, man, I'm very, very excited. So. Without further ado, sir, want to talk about the Star Wars Peakuels here?
Let's do it.
Oh, man. So you were catching up last week.
Yeah.
Spoilers, guys.
That's it. Yeah.
Major spoilers for all of Star Wars. For all of Star Wars.
Yes.
For all of Star Wars.
Anything.
Rip the Goat, Luthen. Rip the Goat, man. Hey, dude. As soon as Clea went to the hospital, I was like, she's gonna do it because there's like no way that she's gonna allow Luthen to get interrogated. That was like that was probably a direction. I was like, if ever something would ever happen to me in this thing, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? Jung, I felt bad for him. He got shot for again because he knew too much. They could have just extracted him. At the end of the day, that was a little unnecessary, but it shows the lengths that Luthen was willing to go to preserve the rebellion. So that was pretty good. Yeah, Clea, man, the MVP, undisputed MVP, the Tyrese Halliburton of the series, sir. Undisputed. Yep. Man, that such a great character. Let's start there because I saw some people online saying this is how you do a character, like a million times better than Rey and a million times better written than Rey. Yes, guys, I gotta agree. Right? I can't be. I'm not disparaging Rey, right?
It's different, but I understand what they're saying.
I think the problem with Rey is that she really didn't have character progression. Like she was just a good at everything person in Jakku. Yeah, she was alone, right? But then she progressed with like I have friends now. That was her character progression. Her character progression was like I have friends, and that's lazy, if you ask me. It's Sephiroth from Final Fantasy VII. When you go in the flashback and you're trying to fight those bug monsters, and you have Cloud and you have Thunder, and you're doing 11 damage when you use Thunder and 9 damage when you do a slash, and Sephiroth and then you get to play as Sephiroth, and he does 9,999 damage with Thundaga, and does 99999 with the slash. It's like that. Yeah, that's Rey. She's Sephiroth, but and then she got friends, and that's it. Versus, we got this character that we didn't know anything about until episode 9 on season 2, but from the beginning, she showed the discipline and like Luthen. The length that she was willing to go to preserve this, and then coming to the understanding that at the end of the show, in that last shot, when she's there, when she wakes up and she looks out and she see the dudes working out and working, actually putting in the work. And you can tell that, in her first facial expression, you can tell that it was like, oh yeah, like we actually did it. Like, this is real. We have the means to go against the Empire now. So MVP, bro. Like, she was so good. Other than Cassian, because Cassian was so good in everything he was in, right? But it's like, well, and Luthen, because like both of them, like Clea, Luthen, phenomenal characters, and then Cassian, of course, so good. But yeah, man, I'm gonna give it to you because you caught up from last week, episode 7, 8, 9. That was something else, right?
Yeah. I gotta say, like, from literally the moment that I feel like I caught up to where it ended was just like they just put their foot on the gas and went crazy. There was so much buildup prior to that, and I think that's probably a little bit why I was even dragging my feet watching it, because it wasn't bad. Like, you never saw me saying like, "Oh, I didn't like it," but it didn't make me be like, I can't wait to see next week what happens kind of mood. It was more of like, I'm just going to just enjoy what I'm being served because it's good. Then you start to see like, okay, they did so much of foundation laying that then when you get like I would say episode 8 in particular, from when you see what happens with the Gormans, the slaughtering of the Gormans, all the way up to the end, leading directly into moments into Rogue One, like, that's where I think the show's at its like strongest points for season 2. And that's what made it so different from even season 1 in that same way, where season 1 was like a lot of like, they have a lot of characters going on, and they had a lot of different characters get a lot of different moments, and it's like the show was called Andor, but really it was building out the world that Andor existed, like the time frame. And this one isn't like that, because in this one it's like they're very clearly trying to set like how Cassian gets to Yavin and is an active part of the rebellion, and like he's already been a part of, like, in the shadows, a part of the rebellion. Like, you see he's a specialist of what he does,
Right.
but like the relationships he builds along the way to when he gets there to Yavin. But yeah, like I think in general, like, Cassian was great. I think Clea was obviously great. Luthen obviously great. But I also really think Mon Mothma deserves her roses too.
Yeah, man.
I think Mon Mothma was some of the best stuff in the show, and they did just enough that you were able to really connect with a side of Star Wars that's not always tapped into as much. More like in the books and those kinds of things where we've talked about before with season 1, same thing, like the whole like the heir to the Empire and the whole like, survival of the fittest and these types of ways that the Empire conducted itself, because it was not a democracy. When you have an empire and you have an emperor, like, it wasn't like these is like, oh, the people elected like this guy. This guy just took over.
Right.
Like Palpatine walked up and said, "We're in trouble. I'm in charge. Goodbye."
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
that's it.
Right.
Yes, like, obviously, like, he did make them do the whole vote to make him the supreme, whatever. But let's just face it, what it is. Like, he took complete power. It wasn't like the people chose this.
Right.
And so, like, and so I think that's like when you see the way Mothma is going about this, and obviously the way as well Bail Organa is going about everything. Like, that's some of the stuff that I really enjoyed the most. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Good.
Can we? I don't know how you want. Just, you want to like talk episodes? It's good, bad. Like, how you want to react? Because I want to talk about the stuff I like and the stuff I didn't like.
Yeah. That's fine.
Ways.
That's fine. Yeah.
We can do that. Okay.
Do that. Yeah.
All right. So I'll talk about the stuff I didn't like first, because it's not too much. It'll be pretty quick, right? Stuff I didn't like. I didn't really care about the whole like wedding thing with Mom. Like, I love Mom that's up there, like the thing with like her kid and whatever. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I thought it was kind of useless. I'm gonna be completely bummed. Like,
I agree.
It is and isn't.
I agree. So I think the only thing is that they're trying to make a point to they're trying to make a point to contrast it to the last episode. Yes. Where Mon Mothma, she's basically nobility in Chandrila, and at the end of the show, she's eating with the dudes, and is like getting ready for the rebellion, right? She's out there and the table outdoors, eating whatever you can come up with, because for the greater
Yeah.
good, right? And then she left that life that you saw, that exuberant party and all that, and her family, right?
Oh yeah.
Like that. I think that's the point that we're trying to make, right? But to your point,
Oh, for sure. For sure.
I agree that was a little too long. You could have made
I
that
like.
point a little bit quicker. Yeah.
Oh, 100%. And that's like I want to be very clear. Like it was character development and it makes sense. So I'm not saying that it doesn't make sense. I'm just saying I just personally didn't care. Like I didn't like it didn't move Andor for me in a certain way that like was profound. It's like when they start getting to the Gorman stuff, that's when I think it's like we start locking in a lot more because like okay, this is like it's like universe shattering, but like on a scale of like just this one particular city and showing what was being going at to help build the Death Star, like as building to that like a little bit. I liked that stuff, but like the whole wedding thing, whatever, again makes sense. I just didn't care, so I
Yeah.
thought that was like some stuff I could have done without.
Right.
I think that's in general a theme that with the first half of the show in general, everything they do is intentional. Everything they do has payoff. So I'm not saying it doesn't. I just think that it was a little bit dragged on some of them, which is probably why they did the batch of 3 episodes. Because like if I had to wait a whole week with some of these
Oh
episodes,
yeah.
that probably would
I
have
think
felt a little differently.
yeah, the pacing.
And
I agree. They did it in
yes,
arcs almost. It was good.
yes.
Yeah.
And I think that helped. I think
Hmm.
like in retrospect, 'cause at first I was like, I don't really understand why they're doing this. But then when I think back, I'm like, okay, this actually makes sense because it's like you're saying in arcs and it was in years.
Right.
And then like you're usually they would start like your first one of the week would be like really interesting, and then your last one would end on like a cliffhanger. So you want to watch next week. And you're like,
Exactly.
hey, I
Very
would
well
love that. So that
paced,
was
right? That
smart.
was pretty good.
Very well on that. Um, and then just in general, that I do think that as much as they did try and do the spy stuff, they took a little bit of step back compared to season one with some of the spy level
Right.
stuff. Like it's like you would think like they would set up like these huge moments, and then it was
Yeah.
just like let's get to this art and just pull out and try and pull this
Well,
thing out.
and
And
I
I was
think
like, hey, can we have like set it up a little? Like you got budget, guys. Like
yeah.
when we had like season one, like breaking out of the prison, it was like you got to build this tool, and then this guy's got to do this thing, and then this person press a button, and then you time whatever. And this
Yeah.
one was like, stand to your left. I'm gonna pull this thing out. And I was like, oh, we could have made this a
Oh,
little
yeah,
more
yeah,
like
yeah.
cooler spy. Like this is the Empire stuff. I think they took a step back in that way a little bit to keep interesting. Again, all makes sense. It all
Yeah.
like this is not me trying to say the show is
I-
bad.
I think they just
This is
wanted
just
to-
me saying parts they
Yeah.
could have amped it up a little bit.
Yeah, and I sort of agree with that, and I think that they might have wanted to made it a little bit more accessible for
Sure.
people that have short attention spans. And it's like, oh, let's make this quick. Let's not overcomplicate this whole spy sequence. Let's make it where stand to the left so I can grab the thing and go, right? So
100%. And I think that was probably their mindset of just like let's stick. They were more stuck to telling a story than they were in the fireworks explosions, all those kind of stuff.
right.
And I give them credit for that. So like we'll go into like the good things now, because that's like pretty much all I have to say about like
Yeah.
the bad stuff was like pretty much those things there. I think it's like moments of that could have made it a little more exciting, a little more interesting. The good stuff, like let the acting, always superb. Like there's not somebody
everyone,
that I was
dude.
like I didn't like their acting. For me, at
Everyone,
least.
yeah.
Everybody was great.
Even the
This dude
kids.
steps in as the kids.
Even-
This dude
yeah.
steps in as Bail Organa, and I didn't blink for a moment. I was
Oh
like,
yeah, Benjamin Brad. He
that's
did a great
him.
job. Yeah.
Great job.
Yeah.
So you
Like
mentioned the Clea thing. I
at
was
one
gonna,
point, I forgot that. I was like, "Oh, that's right. I forgot that he's like he's
Yeah.
not Jimmy Smith." So yeah,
like, I instantly just accepted that was the character and the way he was portrayed. I was like, yeah, that's Bale. And then like and then like in even still like just the Clea thing, like you mentioned, I was gonna literally say the same thing. I think she had a little bit. I'm not saying she stole the thunder, but it's like how like I think Bix had a bigger role in the first season,
Right.
and I'm okay with her taking us like they did what they did. They told the story again. They were
Yeah.
making on the right path. I think Clea stepped into a little bit of that role of like telling another part of it. And it helped expand on Luthen, and then I got a little worried in episode 11, I want to say, when it started
Oh.
off, and it seems like I was like, oh no, this is gonna be one of those flashback episodes where the whole time is just backstory on Luthen. It's like I like Luthen, but I don't know that I need this.
Right.
And then they just did like a couple things. I was like, okay, we're good.
They
This
split
makes
it.
total
Yeah.
sense now.
The way they
It's
split
fine.
it was very good because they split it
was
by like
very good.
sections, right? Yeah.
'Cause
Leading up
usually
to
that kind of stuff
yeah.
doesn't work good. This
Yeah.
actually was like, okay, this is
Yep.
great, and it made me
did.
like Clea even more because I
Yeah.
was like, dang, what she went through and basically accepted this man to basically taking the role as her father.
Right.
Quite profound effect that he had on her life. It would make sense why she would sacrifice her life for him and the mission that he left behind. Like you don't just do this stuff; they give you the heart behind it. I think that's what makes it so profound. And that's like the next thing too, with like Cassian. Like Cassian was just like he was a bro in Rogue One.
Right.
Like we know that he's the guy that he does what nobody wants to do and whatever, but like he's following behind, like Jyn Erso and she makes him more like human side of him, but you don't really see that side. You get the human side more in this season than any time
Yeah.
else you've seen of this character. You see him where he looks sad. You see where he looks broken. Where he says, "I don't want to do this anymore."
Right.
That's not something I think I thought I would have heard Cassian ever say.
Yeah.
Like prior to this, I've been like the guy just like I'll do this. This is what I do. This is my life. I don't care. But he actually cared so much that he was like, I'm willing to let it all go because I don't want to keep on this trend. And Bix is like, nah, man. Like I can't let that happen. I'm gonna keep moving because like I need to make sure that like this thing lives on. But yeah, so that stuff was really solid too. And then I think like the way that they did not break any canon of Rogue One, like there's when you do any prequel of any kind,
Yeah.
you risk the chance of like
yeah.
undoing something.
I heard that they broke canon from a comic.
Yeah, like I wouldn't know that.
It was the K2, like how he got K2.
How K2 came out. Okay, and I can see that.
That's yeah.
Tony Gilroy was gonna do what he was gonna do. They weren't gonna say, "Hey, look at this comic first."
Right.
Like, come on.
Yeah, exactly. Jill,
Go for it.
what it's Cyril. Let's talk about Cyril.
Serial. Okay. Yep.
So Cyril, so he was a great character, and I'm gonna tell you why. He was the most realistic character out of everyone.
Interesting.
This dude is with this woman because he wanted to be with someone. His mom is still like nagging him like he's a kid. He took this job far away because he was gonna pay better. But he was strict and he was promised a promotion, or he was given a promotion to go there with a promise of like getting even higher to like, places within the empire or whatever. Right. Or, and he died knowing that he was a nobody. Like the last thing he heard was, "Who are you? Like you're being after me for 5 years. I don't even know who you are, bro," and gets shot. Like that was like, oof. That is the realest thing, man. Like you go, like especially if you work at a place like big warehouses, right? Where you just go in and you go and you try to make a difference, and at the end of the day, bro, who are you? And that's yeah, it's
That's dark.
It's dark. It's dark, but it was like a very crude reality, right? But it was there's a lot of allegories in this season.
Yeah.
Clear like allegories about current stuff that's going on, right? And like I think the "who are you," right, was for like, you've been a bootlicker all this time and you're still a nobody, and then dude gets done, and I thought that he was gonna get hit by a random bolt, but like seeing that he was the guy that the basically the leader of the resistance that was mounting in Gorman, because he betrayed them. He knew he betrayed them, and he told Cyril, "You betrayed us. It's because of you that they're doing this." And it's like, "No, man, I didn't have anything to do with it. What are you talking
Very
about?"
poetic.
Yeah, what are you talking about? It's like, I don't know what you're talking about, man. And then he goes to Deidre, and then he's like, "What are we doing, bro?" It's like, "Are you serious?" It's like, why are these, like, this is not what I signed up for." And she's like, "Yeah, man, you did." And and it was like, and then he left, and then stuff happens. What about the first ever fist fight in the Star Wars movie? That was good. That was a good little fight, man. That was good.
It was, yeah, again, very like more realistic.
Very grounded,
like,
yeah.
actually, it didn't look like, oh, these guys are just like fighting a choreography. It looked like they were literally fighting for their lives and
Yeah.
just going. So it was good.
Yeah, it was good. And then Deidre. So Deidre, what a great villain. She's so, I told you before that she reminded me of someone, and, that didn't change. That did not change. And every time I see her, it's like, dang it. So man, but she was such a great villain. And to the point that we expected her to have a change of heart after Gorman, and she got worse.
Yeah,
So
she had an opportunity.
it's crazy. But I want to point out a small detail that could go unnoticed, right? She worked her ass off to try and get a promotion, to climb the ranks of the Empire, right? To be a ranking officer and keep climbing that imperial ladder, right? And she did stuff like out of the way, like Gorman and other stuff that she did after that, right? But if you notice her rank, she never got promoted. Like even though she did all the stuff she did not get a promotion. Yeah. She still had her bars, like the same bars, dude.
Yeah.
It's that, like, it's little details like that. I was like, man, she's now in jail, not because of, disobeyed orders, basically. At the end of the day, it wasn't disobeying orders. I think it was she knew too much about Krennic's plans. And Krennic was like, nah, let's put her in the prison in the middle of the ocean where where all the other people are. And again, she ended up being a nobody, even after all that work. So both fates were similar, right? Unfortunately, Cyril, got done in. But I think for her, having to live with her failure, it's a worse punishment than what happened to Cyril. And bro, this flipping show, dude, I'm telling you, I talked to people at work. I talked to someone at work last week, and it's like, hey man, have you watching Andor? It's like, oh no man, I watched like the first 2 episodes of the first season, and like it was kind of slow. And it's like, bro, power through the first half and then we'll talk. So that was last Wednesday last week. And then I go into the office Tuesday morning, and it's like, I'm all caught up. I'm ready for tonight. I was like, you were right. He messaged me. It's like, you were right. Like you were right about all of this. It's like, you're 100% right. I was like, man. And we started talking. Oh man, it's so good. So, yeah. I mean, dude, it little details and a lot of stuff that happened that was so well executed, man. And like, to me, right, like in gaming, if this is your standard now, like going that it's I think that Filoni better evolve his storytelling now. It's the time is right for him to try to do something grander, if you ask me. If I'm Sean Levy, dude, I'm taking notes. I'm taking those notes, Starfighter, and do something similar to this. I'm in.
I don't know about that.
No, man.
Starfighter, I guess that's gonna be more of like a comedy, dude. Let's leave it. I don't think he's gonna be making a dramatic.
We don't need a
statement film. I know. I'm not saying. expectations, I
Man.
don't think that it's gonna be
And it's the problem with Marvel, right?
yeah.
It's like Endgame was so peak that everything that came after Endgame just didn't feel the same. And this could happen to this could be a Star Wars, like a New Hope for Star Wars, like going forward, right? And they can take notes from this, and this worked. People loved it. Let's not worry about the frou
Sure.
shows that we were trying to do
Sure.
with the
Yeah.
Acolyte, and
Yeah.
let's redo, like, make Ray a Clea-ish character. I don't care.
That's so different
It
though.
is. I don't care. Change her.
It's so different.
She's a
I
little
don't know.
more upbeat than that, but
It's just like, yeah, like that's the thing. Like I think there's like you said though, like there's notes they have to take from this to understand the things that work, and there's ways to factor that into the different flavors that Star Wars is trying to deliver.
right.
And like there's ways to say like they focused on this thing. Why are we focusing on this other thing? Like they're have these really great like build up to these things. Why is there no payoff when you're doing stories like this?
Right.
Like there's a lot of stuff. These characters are all liked. Why are all these characters liked and not just one character? Because like there's a lot of stuff around it. I think they can learn from it and still do like the different flavors. Like they can still have like Andor being a early rebellion, storytelling of an early rebellion leading up to an absolute epic send off to now an actual war, Star Wars. Like the war is now begun because of this. Now you have they like that's a great like you're saying like prequel setup of saying like the floor is yours. Do something special. Thankfully that leads into like your original your original trilogy films and stuff like that.
I'm
But
gonna say something,
go for
Joel.
it. Go for it.
Very, very, very controversial, sir.
Oh.
Like that. I'm
Hot
gonna,
takes, I like it.
I'm gonna catch fire for what I'm about to say. I think if there's anyone in the chat, I'm gonna probably get called out. Remake A New Hope
I think it's inevitable though.
and our style, like continue from Rogue One, and like where do we go from here, right? That's like that's the that's a question, like after this is like a exit interviews. It's like Andor ended, where do we go from here, right? Whenever, and again, like I said it, like the same in like gaming, you every time that there's a sequel to a video game that's inferior to the one that came before it, you kill the franchise effectively. Like, you're not, Halo is dead because Halo 5 was bad. And Halo Infinite came out and it didn't, like, people didn't want it. Even though I heard really good things about Infinite, but that happens, man. It's like happens with gaming all the time. Like there's a bad sequel, forget about it, dude. Your franchise is dead. Like, gamers are not gonna come back. You're gonna need a reboot, right? We all thought Resident Evil was dead, even though Resident Evil 6 sold really well. It soured a lot of people. But then, it took them a few years. 7 came out. They reinvented themselves and they revitalized the franchise. This is the moment for Star Wars to put in all those projects that they're working on. No, Mando Grogu is pretty much done. That thing's all refilmed. That's coming out next year, right? That's there. There's no feasible way to make significant changes to that movie without massive reshoots and a delay. Although they may want to get out of the GTA 6 release date because I think it's coming out the same week or the same day, something like that. So they may want to get either before or after that week. I think, like, man, and this is, like, again, first memories that I have, it's Star Wars. First movie that I watched in movie theater was Return of the Jedi. Like, this is like stuff that I have that I've always known in my 40-some years being here. Always. Like, I have never been, like, Star Wars has always been part of who I am, and I'm not afraid to say that. Sure, remake the OGs. Is the if the casting's good, if keep the storytelling cohesive, Final Fantasy VII did it in a masterful way. And we're talking about one of the most beloved stories of all time in media in Final Fantasy VII. They've done it. Yeah, some people say it's like, oh, well, it's not like the original. It's like, yeah, that's the whole point, right? It's like you got to think a little more. And as controversial as that is, and it's not the same as like remaking back, like, because there's been rumors about remaking Back to the Future, right? It's like going back to the 90s, and that would be pretty cool, right? 90s are hot right now, but like going back to especially in the case of Back to the Future, going back to what they call like an ideal time in American history. Sure, that's whatever, just to get a peek of that, and then Back to the Future being set in the 80s itself. That's all great. The movie's great. Doesn't need a remake. In the case of Star Wars, right, especially A New Hope, I think Empire and Jedi. Let me get there. I think Empire is fine. I think there's nothing about The Empire Strikes Back that I would change, but some of the tones, especially with Luke, especially with Han, especially with the main three, right? Luke, Han, and Leia. Like Han. I mean, Harrison Ford's there, and he does his thing. He's fine. But the inconsistencies between Luke and Leia, and their acting. Like one time, they're acting about like this way, a certain way. They're acting differently in the next scene. It's strange, right? And we know is like the editing. That we all know the story, right? This movie was hell to edit, and it was edited many times before we ended up with a cut that was put out. Like inconsistencies, like Aldrin blowing up, right? And then Leia being sadder than that Obi-Wan died than Aldrin exploding, that sort of thing, right? Inconsistencies in the characters. I would do it. Like if you know what, Kathleen Kennedy if wants to go out with a bang, and just finish up what she started and finish up pissing everyone off, do it and go home.
Crazy. Absolutely. That's
it and go
crazy.
home.
I don't know what I'm hearing.
Screw it. You're shook over there. Look at that.
If only we had
you want me to pull out the VHS
show.
tapes as proof that I am an OG.
I am not attacking your fandom. I think you're ahead of your time because
okay.
I think it's inevitable.
Maybe it was the writing, because you gotta take the nostalgia part of it, right? And you have to be able to just take off you gotta be able to rip off your nostalgia from the reality that is a product like Star Wars. At this point, right? And yeah, I'll do it. Get that cool battle, like the cool lightsaber duel that dude on YouTube did.
Oh, that was cool. Yeah.
See?
That's cool.
That's another thing. Like the lightsaber duel is like playing broomstick with your little cousin when you're a kid. It's like nah, bro. Just get Obi-Wan doing his thing, and even if he's old, I don't care.
Oh, jeez.
All right.
Well,
Flame Shield.
I will just say, I think you're ahead of your time. I think it's inevitable. I think they will remake those at some point. I'm scared for that to happen in my lifetime, but I think it's going to happen. And I will also say I don't think Jedi work in the same flavor of Andor personally. But I think there's things you can grab from it. Like I would say, like probably a good 80% of it you could grab from what they do there and pull that into some other Star Wars. But there's still a good other side of it that it's different. It's a different flavor. The
Yeah.
adventure and the sense of adventure that those originals have are something very unique. But you bring out all very good points of things that could absolutely be fixed, should be redone, and I think it will happen at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll leave it at that because I
Yeah.
will keep going for a while.
Man, and I think Return of the Jedi is fine with the exception of that stupid musical scene. Like I don't even know I don't know what kind of edibles George was in that day that he decided to do that thing. But
Which
that
one? You're talking about you're talking about the re-edits?
Return of the Jedi when they added the musical on the
Yeah.
Jabba's palace.
Yeah.
George, lay off the edibles, man, and just why did you do that? Why? I mean,
George just don't care.
the original wasn't great either, but it was still better than that. That was like I man, I can live with the CGI Jabba on episode 4, but that thing it was rough, bro. Like the first time I saw it, it was like, what the heck did they do? I don't know, man. Just George, George, what you do?
Happy birthday, George Lucas, by the way.
Oh yeah, his birthday was like 2 weeks, like
yesterday
2 days
or
ago,
whatever,
right? Yeah, I think yesterday. Yeah,
It was yesterday.
Yeah,
Happy
man,
birthday.
but-
81, I think they said. Yeah. Some of that.
yeah. He looks good for anyone.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, man. This show was so good. I'm sad that it's done. I'm hoping that we can get something similar to that. All right. Big question. Is the baby Poe Dameron?
No.
No. Okay. Okay.
Timing wise, Poe Dameron's gonna be a lot older by the time that happens.
Poe
The sequel.
Poe should be 34 at the time of the sequel. Well, the baby would be 34 at the time of the sequels, which is
Dude, how old is Luke by Return of the Jedi?
23.
I always thought he was like 25.
He was 19 in A New Hope, and then Jedi is 3 years later, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's, yeah.
So
Okay. Interesting.
22, 23, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
so I mean, the age matches, but then it's funny because they ask the actress that played Biggs, was like, "Who's the baby?" And she's like, and then they asked Tony, and then they asked Tony Gilroy, is like, "Does the baby have a name?" And he's like, "No."
Smart,
So it's
smart.
like, okay, that's good. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I think it's more symbolic than anything else.
right, yeah, so good. I was disappointed. Okay. So I think that it was brave that they didn't have any cameos out of any other classic characters.
I know.
I do think that there was a missed opportunity for a huge cameo. I would have loved that after Mon Mothma's speech in the Senate, that the floor opened when she was done,
the boss shows
and
up.
the boss shows up. And,
Dude, that would have made the show go to a whole nother place.
And then
I thought it too.
And then he would say like the Senate is suspended. All power will go to the regional governors, and I will work on dissolution or whatever, right? So yeah, like that would have been the moment, right? Because we know, and Tarkin says it's like, oh yeah, so Death Star's active. The Emperor has dissolved the Senate, and he's got he gave power to the regional governors, and he could have done that, like in there and there, because it's like that was, man, wasted opportunity, because that would have been freaking epic. But
maybe they asked and they couldn't get it, or something. Like,
maybe,
who knows? But I agree.
Even if it was a
Had that
hologram, like
happened-
the dark, like it goes dark and the hologram comes
he's gotta
up.
show up.
He's
dude.
gotta
Like
show
Bad
up.
Batch style, dude.
Oh,
if they did the
yeah.
same thing like Bad Batch, where I like, oh, this vote really matters, and they get what they want, and then out of nowhere the boss shows up, and he's just like, so, yeah, everything you're saying, and then he somehow finagles it that everyone looks at it another way again, and like
Yeah.
starts reversing it on
Right,
Mon
yeah.
Mothma or something, would have been like awesome.
Yeah,
That would have been sick.
that would have been.
But I think they probably didn't want to trump the great speech from Mon Mothma. So like, if that was showing up, people would be like, "Mon Mothma's speech was cool, but
Palpatine." Yeah,
I think
you're
they
right.
wanted
You're right.
to make
You're
sure
right.
that people don't take away. But I
Yeah.
agree. I would have been like,
that would have been the moment,
I would have
right? And now,
squealed,
now
dude.
that
That
we're
would have been
cheering
awesome.
for the bad guys, right, guys? We know
No, no, no.
we
Come
know in
on,
which
come
side
on.
we
We're
are,
not. Yeah,
right?
that's not
But
like that. Come on. It's lore. It's
it's lore,
connectivity. It's.
exactly. That's the thing.
Let's
That
be honest. But you and I quote Palpy on a weekly basis. Good.
they will pay the price for their lack of vision. That's
Yes, yes.
on a weekly
It's
basis, sir.
treason then.
Yeah, it's treason. Yeah.
Unlimited power.
Unlimited power. I got it right here. Hold on. Where's Palpy? Yeah, there you go. So yeah, man. Uh, no, I love this show. I am
Good
feeling
stuff.
giddy
Yeah.
about Star Wars again,
Good.
and that's a
Good.
good thing. So
That's a good thing.
yeah,
Dude, when you see Thunderbolts, you're gonna feel the same about Marvel.
good. Okay, yeah. Maybe we're
telling
gonna
you.
feel the same way about Superman, sir, when that drops in the movie theaters. Because even my daughter is telling me, "Hey, I kind of want to watch Superman." Yeah, so I was like, okay, all right, that's cool. Yeah, when trailer dropped, when was it? Yesterday, right?
Yeah.
And
Yesterday we had 2 trailers.
yeah, I mean a pretty good Superman trailer. Um, very good. They're making the point that this is the Superman that is like, yeah, I don't care if I need to go to another country if people are suffering. I am going to go there and help them, right? So, I mean, we saw it in like Batman v Superman, Man of Steel, but the way they did it here was very human, and I think that was the part that some of the Snyder stuff was like missing, where he was more of a conflicted character still, but here he's clear. It's like, no, people are suffering. I gotta do what I gotta do, and the story, right? And I appreciate that. That was good. Yeah, movie looks good, man. I mean, visually looks fine. Some of the shots that they showed in the trailer were really good. We still don't really know what's going on. Like, these trailers have been really well edited. We're like, well, yeah, we don't really know what's happening. I mean, we know Lex is invading the thing, but like, we can't really piece out what's going on. And I think that's good. So, it's not a Sony trailer where they give you the whole movie in the trailer. So, yeah, man, it looks good. I'm excited for it. I'm really am. So, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. For another new trailer, they're doing a good job of not making me feel like I've seen the whole thing. And I think we've seen all the major moments without seeing the spoilers of those moments and how
Right.
it all connects and how it makes sense. And that's what a trailer's supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
It's just to market and tease those big things, make you want to see what really is going on in those moments and those things. Stay away from the toys, because
I
let me tell
saw
you,
something about that.
there's something I
Yeah.
saw, and I was like, if this is true, oh boy, then
Yeah, man.
Whether that's Superman 2 or whether that's Supergirl, I don't know how they will connect. But all I know is it's late grind. There's no way they're just gonna do this one thing in this one movie. Like, this would be a setup for a future thing.
Right.
So we'll see. But like you said, this is the first time I felt like in this trailer out of all the other ones that I really got a sense of like, okay, so Superman's gonna really be different here, because he's going to be like, you can tell that he's like a man with these crazy abilities, but he's still like trying to be like a man. Like, like he feels like an alien outsider, but yet he still like has the heart of like behind humankind, like,
Right.
in all cases, that he's been burdened with these gifts. Where like in Snyder's version, his was more of like a god among men was always like his main thing, and like there was parts that he did humanize between him and his mother and Lois and things like that, of
Right.
course. But it felt very like how like Christopher Reeve's very like stoic when I'm Superman. Like, I am here. That's not the case. Like, he's got personality behind him.
Yeah.
It's not goofy. It's just like it's very like humanizing of it in a way. And I think that's what I was concerned to be goofy, but it doesn't seem to be that way. It does seem to be just more humanized. And when he's like emboldened and he's impassioned, like the conversations, whenever you have a character like Superman, you have to have certain conversations. If you're missing out on talking about like the types of battles that he has, like between like the rights and responsibilities he has with his powers and then what the people are going through, then like you're just making him a strong man. Like the whole point of it is he's not an American. Like he's not like, oh, you're representing of the, you should have spoken to
He's
the
like, no, I'm
president. Like,
representing
hey,
myself. Yeah.
I'm me. Like I am not from this planet. I was raised amongst these people. I was raised in this kind of thing. He's not saying he's anti-America, but he's also not saying he's anti some other like place.
Right.
He is a man for the people, like genuinely. And so this is not him going on behalf of anyone, but he himself saying, "I'm Superman." If they when they need hope, when they need to look up, and they see me flying in the sky, they know I'm there to help. And like
Yeah.
that will be so special if they get that right.
And
But
yeah.
what we're seeing in the trailers looks really good. Can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
Again, I've heard only from one place that supposedly there's concerns it's not good. Everything we're seeing looks good. I'm going to see it regardless. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah. And to your point, like we see him being helped by people doing the trailer. So
Yeah, that was interesting.
yeah, right. So I think they're probably taking a almost like a Spider-Man approach to it, like especially the Sam Raimi Spider-Mans, where he was like a New Yorker, right? He was part of the town, and it seems like they're going for something like that, and it looks. I don't know, man. It looks bright. It looks like hopeful and
Different. It's
yeah,
good.
it's different, and I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, we all knew, we all loved Henry Cavill, so, but
I know.
it's things sometimes don't work out, and maybe this would be good. I mean, looks good. So if he reviews well, like I said, I'm gonna go out of my way to watch it. So I'm looking forward to it, sir. One thing that we did not ask for was Ironheart. And there was a trailer for Ironheart. Unfortunately, Joe, I don't think this looks particularly good.
I don't think you're wrong. I don't think you're wrong.
I'm not here dunking on anything. I'm just saying.
It doesn't look like a disaster. It just doesn't look great. It looks very mid. It looks like it might be better than Echo. I think it will be better than Echo.
I think so.
Because I think it has a little more money.
Because of special effects.
Yeah, like
Echo had
stuff.
no special effects, right? Basically,
Yeah,
it
man.
was your old stunts. Yeah.
I think that's even. I think. I'm quick spoiler for Echo. You saw Echo, right?
Yeah,
Did you?
yeah.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, I forget. No, there was someone else I know. So I didn't see it, but like the whole thing of her her whole ability is that she can mimic your opponents. And instead, they make it like the power of one, the power of many, and she's just like echoing her ancestors or whatever.
Echoing the grandma,
like, that's where
yeah.
the effects came in. Was like, woo, I think notes, guys, don't do it, with Ironheart, like you look at this, and it's like I think they have a little more money to make her actually have some cool like.
I think the armor looks
moments.
The armor looks fine.
That could be cool, but and obviously, I think the actress too. I think it. At least in Wakanda Forever, I thought she was cool. So I think that'll be positive. But I told someone else this too. I feel like the timing around this, like we've not heard anything about this project really until literally like now it's like a month before it coming out. That's usually not a good sign. The other part about it is like it feels like the reason they're doing it right now is because of all the hype of Sinners. Like that movie Sinners has so much hype. I was able to catch it. Dude, that movie, if you ever get a chance to catch it, it feels like a Marvel film. Like
really, okay.
It feels like Coogler made them. Even the post-credit scenes, that like literally feel like a Marvel film. It's crazy. Okay. And like that movie, obviously doing incredibly well. It's all over TikTok. Everyone's going crazy. Like maybe that's when you see like Ryan Coogler, executive producer. Like they're trying to like, hey, we pay you a boatload of money so your name shows up on it. He's not the showrunner. He's not the writer. He's not. He's not even just an executive on the project that basically looked at some art and said, "Cool, sure," like and got a paycheck. I'm not saying Coogler wasn't invested in it. I'm just saying like we have to understand there's a lot of other creatives that are running the show on this. It feels a little bit like the timing is, hey. We know this movie did really good, so let's make sure we capitalize, and then maybe we'll get the Echo treatment. We'll see. Okay. I hope it's good. I will watch it. I'm more. Okay. I would rather watch this before I watch Agatha, and Agatha was supposedly good. But
Oh yeah.
I
Oh,
just
I
didn't.
totally
I
forgot
just
about
didn't.
that.
I just didn't care. Like most people didn't care. I was like, I don't.
Oh,
This one, I'm like, I'll check it out. Like I love Iron Man, so if there's any connection or any cool stuff, I'll check it. Hopefully, I don't know how many episodes. How many episodes is this? Is it eight,
I
six?
don't
I
know.
wish it was like six.
It's like, the less the better.
Yeah, I just feel like if I'm not too injured, like just hopefully you could get to the point.
Yeah.
You know.
There's no more Star Wars this year, right? There's nothing else. Oh, Visions, right? Visions. That's it. That's
Yeah.
about it. Yeah.
Six. Yeah. See,
Okay.
that's
Oh,
all good.
okay.
Okay.
Short and sweet.
I,
Yeah. Okay.
I'm good with that. I'm good
Yeah.
with that.
Should be fine.
We'll see.
All right. So that's probably not gonna be too bad then.
Yeah.
Not as bad as like what the heck is going on at WB right now with HBO and Max. What the heck, dude?
I mean, they're doing the right
They're
thing.
the right.
I think
Yeah, I think so
they're
too.
doing the right thing.
Yeah,
What's going
giving
on?
it back to the people. As they used to
Yeah.
say. There's rumors that they're just gonna go ahead and sell it off. Like
Oh, I think so.
they're not doing great. Their games division, I think their revenue was down like 38% or something
Oh, jeez.
for the
Wow.
quarter. So
So many good IPs and they can't get. That's
dude,
crazy.
Harry Potter, Mortal Kombat, and all that, and they're just like, nah, anything with it. Yeah, Mortal
Wow.
Kombat 1 was a flop, and it looks like the DLC is done. So, yeah, man. I think they're prepping for to sell the pieces of the corpse over there at WB.
Probably.
Dude, can you imagine, right? And this is just me like thinking outside of, the realm of conventional thinking. Because of, what they said about Looney Tunes. It's like, bro, what if Bob, before leaving, was like, we got Looney Tunes. And, now you got to get Bugs Bunny at Hollywood Studios.
That would be an ultimate like
Yeah.
chess move.
That would
Man.
be his ultimate consolidation.
The history of that is crazy.
The sixth Infinity Stone.
Although
or the fifth.
I don't think it's. I don't think it'd be a good idea personally. Like I mean,
Probably get him cheap,
but
though.
probably.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know. I was telling my daughter because my wife's been watching like old stuff on Boomerang, and my daughter's been watching.
Yeah.
So she's been watching like Flintstones and Jetsons and
Throwbacks,
Scooby
yeah.
and whatnot. So
Magilla Gorilla. All the old Hanna
I haven't encountered any Magilla.
Top
Yogi
Cat.
Bear. Yeah. She asked me about Top Cat. I told her that Top
yeah,
Cat's a real G.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Top Cat's legit. So,
and
because she was asking, she was been watching Tom and Jerry and what did we watch the other day? Popeye. It's like she's been asking me about that, and it's like, oh yeah, like this used to be like Hanna-Barbera, and then they all got fused into like Cartoon Network. That got fused into WB, and now no one knows what's going on.
Cartoon Network is dead. They killed Cartoon
Yeah,
Network.
they killed Cartoon. Yeah, yeah.
That is crazy. The Cartoon Network no longer exists. Like that's
man.
history, man.
That is, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, that seems to be the case over there. Hey, you know what? Let's go ahead and do it. Well, tell me, what are you doing? Yeah. So I don't know, man. But guys better. It sounds like nothing. Not so many good stuff is happening over there. Joe, I think we're good. Let's wrap up the gaming news for next week, and we'll come back to you guys later on. Sir, pleasure to be here with you again. Go ahead and wrap it up.
Absolutely. Thank you all so much for being with us. We want to encourage you to stay tuned and stay subscribed. We are on podcast platforms of your choice, places like Spotify, SoundCloud, Amazon Music. Find us on those podcast platforms. Subscribe to us, follow us. We'd really appreciate it. Of course, if you're watching a video version, thank you so much. Make sure you subscribe to the No Load Time YouTube channel. We're on YouTube, No Load Time. You can subscribe, like the videos, drop us a comment, all the stuff the YouTubers say, because that stuff really does help us out, so we appreciate it. Additionally, you can follow us on social media at No Load Time. That's at No Load Time. can follow us there. Also, you can support our show on Patreon. This is a way of you financially supporting our show if you would be able to do so. We are on Patreon, patreon.com/no load time. That's patreon.com/no load time. As little as $1 a month, you can support our show as a producer. Shout out to producer Tony. And last but not least, if you have a question, comment, or feedback, send an email to noloadtime@gmail.com. That's noloadtime@gmail.com. Potentially, we'll even talk about what you send in on a future episode. But with that being said, we look forward to being with you all next time.
Thank you, guys. Please take it easy on me for my episode 4 comments. Stay safe. We'll see you again next time.